This is Jan Ashton. She is 11 years old. She is climbing to the top of the big top of the circus begun by her great-great-great-grandfather 150 years ago. Jan is about to make her first appearance on the flying trapeze, the most exciting moment of her short life. This is Jan's story, and the story of the people of the circus, the people recently described by the Pope as the heroes of the impossible. I'm standing in what was a vacant lot. But from now and until this circus rolls out of town, this has been transformed into a tent city with a special kind of magic about it for thousands of children. It's been said that there are two occasions in life when the circus has this quality of magic. Once, when you are a child and see it with child's eyes, and again very much later when you see it through the eyes of your children. Ashton's is not the greatest show on earth. By the new standard set in Australia by the visiting Russian circus, Ashton's is far from the biggest or the best. But these children are not making comparisons. Many of these children are seeing a circus for the first time, and to them, now, Ashton's is the circus. And to this girl, Jan Ashton, Ashton's circus is not only the circus, but her whole life. As she now applies her makeup with professional skill for a matinee performance, she thinks ahead to the evening performance.
I know it's just my life, I think.
Had a lot of practice for this particular performance. What are some of the other things you've done in the circus?
Bareback riding, trapeze.
What's been the most exciting?
The flying trapeze.
This is really what you've been working for, isn't it?
Yes.
What would you like to do most, finally? What's your final ambition? Trapeze, bareback riding, Roman rings, what?
I think the high trapeze.
Jan has spent her whole life preparing for the high trapeze, and she is already a stylish and competent performer in several other fields. For several years now, she's ridden bareback, and before, she appeared in a feature role on the Roman rings. But like so many artists in the circus, she began assisting in the clown act. Part of the act involved a whip-cracking sequence with her sister.
I held the papers while she cracked them out of my mouth and hands.
Were you ever frightened that she'd miss?
Oh, sometimes.
Did she ever miss?
No, I don't think so.
At some stage, practically everyone who performs in the circus has appeared with the clowns. Legend has it that a great clown must have a broken heart. We asked Joe, the chief electrician and leading clown in Ashton's circus, if the legend is true.
I think, yes. In a way, it has to be. To be a good clown, you'd have to be sort of a philosopher. You've got to... Life is tragic, and people will laugh very often at tragedy of other people. And you have to find the golden middle to make it not offensive to the one part, yet funny to all of them.
And presuming a person has the right sense of tragedy, is it then easy to become a clown?
No. There's you cannot learn. I don't think you can learn. You can't tell somebody, now, you go in there now, put a red nose on, and be funny. I think they have to study, watch little children, and see what they laugh about. And that takes years, I think.
Yet still, the Pied Pipers of the circus each year lure hundreds of young men to run away from home. They dream of becoming a clown, or a daring young man on the flying trapeze, or a lion tamer. They begin as roustabouts, and they seldom become anything else. The roustabouts seldom have the patience or the stamina, let alone the talent of a performer.
They stay with the circus a few weeks, perhaps even a few years, but then drift away. But each night after the show, they climb the trapeze under the watchful eye of the leading aerialist, Melbourne Ashton, and they practice. And on rare occasions, talent will appear. None was apparent this night. But an exception is Arthur. A former merchant seaman, Arthur joined the circus as a roustabout only 3 years ago. Today, he's the chief catcher in the trapeze act. Arthur, when you first joined the circus as a roustabout, did you want to become an acrobat?
Oh, well, yes, I mean, that's something that every person would like to be, you know. I mean, it's, when you just join up for the fun of it, I mean, you never expect to become something in the main act, you know. It's unpredictable, you know.
You were one of the lucky ones, eh?
Yeah, I was one of the lucky ones.
Plus the fact that no doubt it took a lot of work.
Oh, it's a lot of hard work.
How did you start?
Well, as tent rigger, and then I got onto the trapeze rigging, doing all the rope works and that, and from there, well, Mervyn, I used to go up for night time for a swing, you see, and Mervyn asked if I'd like to take it up serious. Well, I said, well, yes. And from then on, well, I've been up there, you know.
One of the younger roustabouts at the circus today is John. John wants to be a lion tamer. We asked him why.
Oh, it's exciting, and there's not many people in the world that can master the lions. And I think if you can make a good lion tamer, well, you've really conquered something in the world.
Think you make a lot of money at it?
Oh, yes, money's one thing.
Do you think you'll make it?
Well, I guess it's all up to Captain Schultz, really. If he thinks I'm good enough, well, I most probably will.
Captain Schultz is the Ashton Circus lion tamer and elephant trainer. Today, he has 3 elephants. Once he had 10. Today, his lion act consists of only 6 animals. Yet he remembers the great days of the circus before the war, when his act included 21 animals.
6 lions, 3 tigers, 3 leopards, 3 polar bears, 2 Himalayan bears, 1 jaguar, and 2 Great Danish dogs.
Would you like to have more animals in your act now?
Yes, yes. Well, let's put it this way. If you are used to big acts, this act, to my knowledge and to my way of handling this act, is a small act.
Is there any great problem in getting animals into this country?
Now, if you pay the price for it.
When you're with these wild animals, do you ever feel completely safe?
No, no. That would be a mistake if I would so.
There's always danger, is there?
Definitely. As long as those animals are in there and you can see them snarling and fighting and come against me and I hold them away with the lance like the matador does with his bandolero in the bull ring. I mean, there is always that point and one day they break through.
Many people are critical of the fact that these wild jungle animals are kept in cages in fairly cramped conditions. What do you say about this?
Well, first of all, those animals are born in captivity. When an animal is born in captivity, well, it doesn't know the liberty.
Does lion taming pay well?
It did. It doesn't pay today anymore.
It did pay, it doesn't anymore. This appears to be true of all 10 circuses in Australia. Ashton's is struggling to survive. Everywhere are signs that the belt is being tightened. The glitter has gone. Even the sideshows are a slightly sleazy shadow of the great days of the circus before the war. Ray Kelroy, the circus's publicity manager, about the difficulties of operating a circus in Australia today.
Australians have always been circus-minded, but not to the extent of the Europeans. The European people, they know and understand and appreciate circus business far better than the Australian by virtue of the fact that there are so many circuses in Europe and so few in Australia. We are a scattered, very scattered country, and whereas we do one-night stands, we may do up to 50, 60 or 100 miles in a day, show that night, tear everything down, pack it up and move off again the next morning. In Europe, they can set their tents and they can be up for 2 months, 3 months, then move a dozen miles down the road and set up again for another 2 or 3 months.
Quite a few Australian circuses seem to have been in trouble recently, and some of them have actually folded up. What seems to be the main problem?
Well, I think the main problem are running costs. Costs here are fantastically high. This is the hardest country in the world for a circus owner.
Jan's father, Doug Ashton, is the circus manager. He discusses some of the expenses of operating a circus today.
Well, we're up for about £350 per day, if things go right. But the tents, well, they're worth £6,000–7,000. Some of the caravans the show cost $4,000. They've got gas and refrigerators and fans and everything you could possibly have in caravans. And they are the longest you could possibly have in Australia for the length.
Well, these costs must be considerably greater today than they were, say, 10 years ago. Does this make it difficult for the circus?
Well, it does in a way because we try to keep our prices down to suit the family man. Say 40 or 50 years back, well, you get into a circus for 5 and 6 bob. Well, today, you can still get in for 8 shillings, and the costs have gone up terrific.
But Doug's most immediate concern today is understandably about his daughter Jan. We asked Doug, a former trapeze artist himself, how he feels about Jan's imminent trapeze debut.
Well, we're always a little bit nervous, but we feel quite sure that she'll be okay.
You think she'll be a success?
Oh, yes, she's had plenty of practice, and we wouldn't like to get hurt, so we take all precautions with her.
Have you ever thought that you'd like Jan to go into some sort of life other than the circus?
Well, that's up to Jan herself. We've asked her, and she's been around Australia several times. She's seen everything, but somehow she seems to like the circus.
As a trapeze artist, what does the future hold for Jan? Well, the present queen of the trapeze in Ashton's is Nikki, a former ballet dancer. Two years ago, she fell during this act and broke her spine, wrist, and ribs and lost 1 kidney from internal damage. 3 months later, she was back on the trapeze. We asked her if she felt nervous when she went back.
I was a little bit because I wasn't really sure of myself. I didn't have any confidence, but gradually built up, you know. You want to get further ahead and do harder tricks and things.
What's the future hold for you, Nikki, as the queen of the trapeze?
Well, there's not many girls that do a flying trapeze now who want to excel in the hardest sort of tricks by doubles and forwards over the bar and things like that. So if I practice up on those, you could probably get a job overseas or a tour overseas, just experience.
Will you come back to Australia?
Oh, yes.
You see the rest of your life in the circus?
Oh, yes, I think so.
What happens when you're too old for the trapeze? Will you stay with the circus then?
Oh, if I can do something.
You wouldn't want to go to any other life?
No.
And tonight, Jan stands nervously 150 feet above the sawdust on the threshold of a new era as Australia's youngest trapeze artist. A success. And so Jan becomes the new member of the Flying Ashton. She will feature again tomorrow night, and the night after that. And then the mallets will unpeg the tent city, and the big top will billow down. The trucks, the cages, the caravans, and the carriages will rumble off to another town and another show. And then,
And once again, a vacant lot where the magic was for a little while. Ashton Circus will be back next year, or the year after, Ashton's or any one of the 10 circuses in Australia. But then what? The future of the circus in Australia is by no means certain, despite the confidence of the circus people themselves. and it might yet prove to be impossible for the circus to survive in this country. But then, circus people have always been the heroes of the impossible.